Hello again, this is Andrew from Team Disc Golf UK doing another TrolleyCam round, this time at Arrow Valley Disc Golf Course in Redditch. So here we have hole 1, which is just a 64 metre, everything's basically counted as a par 3 on this course, but it's just pretty straight up shot, basket's just tucked away slightly to the right. That was Peter who was up first, 3 of us playing today. So here's Matthew, and then there's myself in a sec, so they've both done backhand leopards up there, and I'm going forehand with a DX Eagle. I went slightly further than I wanted, but close enough to have a go at the putt. Here we go, Matthew's up shot. Matthew's the more casual player of the 3 of us. Me and Peter are actually doing this round as part of the Arrow Valley Disc Golf Club's solo league, but as we're all the same household, we're playing as a 3. Yep, here we go, just putting out. So that's a 3 for me to start with. Peter had a really nice upshot to get that 3 as well. Matthew's a bit enthusiastic on his upshot. And as I say, he's only playing casually, so he doesn't want to get right to that spiky bush. So he's playing in a way that wouldn't be entirely acceptable in a competition. But casual play, we're here for the fun really. And it's nice to see him out and about. He was, however, not going to even putt out, so at this point we're in, oi! And casual play, that'll do, but again, not really acceptable in competition. And on to hole 2, which has a bit of interest. There's an OB area which actually we're not playing for the league because unfortunately the signage is gone on the course at the moment. The club has just started up, the Arrow Valley Disc Golf Club, so they're setting about reinstating tees and things. But a lot of locals didn't even know there was an OB on this because the sign's been missing for so long. But we all managed to stay out the OB anyway. Matthew skipped out of it there. And then we're on to our upshots. Extreme hyzer putting there from Matthew, but it's a long time since he's played. He gets better as the round goes on. Peter's just going a bit long, but it's not a bad upshot at all. And then I should have quite an easy putt, but I managed to make it more tricky than it should be. Yeah, should have done some putting before we started. Never mind. And on to hole 3, which is slightly uphill and then just into the trees a bit again, as you can see. Peter didn't quite manage to turn that over enough, but he's out in the open. Matthew's enthusiastic, but a bit far left. And then I'm forehanding it again, as is my wont. And that'll do nicely. I've got a nice little kick at the end there, I think. Then we're into upshots. Matthew unfortunately finds some really spiky stuff there. That's a stretch of horribleness. You don't really want to go in. And oh yep. We've got some professional dog walkers coming past, so we'll let those guys get out of the way before we carry on. Say hello, and there we go. Yep, Peter just gets up around the corner there, I think. So Matthew's over there in the bushes behind the basket somewhere, so a disc will pop out at some point in a minute. Not quite sure when. Certainly can't see him. Oh yeah, it just came out the tree directly behind the basket there. So he's made it out at least. That's me getting my 2. That was Matthew's 4th shot, I think. And this is Peter's 3rd, maybe? I've lost track. But it was a nice putt anyway. Matthew's still warming up. There we go. That was definitely a step putt. But again, casual play, we won't mind. Hole 4, which is one of the slightly more technical holes in the course. Bit of an alleyway to go down, but that was about as good as I could possibly do it. That was the eagle again. We're all basically playing with 2 discs here. Matthew and Peter have both got leopards, and I'm throwing an eagle, and then we've all got a putter. So, yep, nice one for Matthew there. It just cut in at the end, but I think when we get down there, we've finally got through all the rubbish, and it's quite clear. A lovely upshot from Peter. Yes, so there you go. Matthew made it to a relatively clear spot, and that's a good go at the pot. Peter's not quite sure if it's his go. Yes, it is. And that was for the 3. I'm not sure if I'm off camera here. Oh, that was Matthew finishing off camera. Oh, and that was my drive, so I went a bit too far. But that'll do nicely. So to hole 5, where you start off in the woods, you're playing up through a fairly narrow gap. This is quite a long hole. Of course, I think this is Cancer par 4. I wasn't really looking at the tee side then. But I mean, for the level of course, it's a beginner par 4. I made it out through the trees anyway. And Matthew up next. Another nice throw straight out the trees. He's warming up a bit now. And Peter similarly straight out. We played another round after this and we all hit trees on this hole, so that was a good start. There we go, Matthew on his upshot. It was a bit sunny, so I was trying to shield the camera a bit. Not that it seems to make a difference. Matthew had another go with his putter as well there. Peter's upshot. And myself. So I think just skitters over the path. Oh, almost over the path. But quite happy with the 3 there. If I had a faster driver with me, I might be able to get up there, but I can't with the eagle. So give Matthew a bit of putting advice here, because I'm trying to get him out of hyzer putting quite so much. And certainly I find if I put an anhyzer on it as I'm holding the disc, I'm much more likely to put flat. And Matthew's comment there was I was concentrating too much on keeping the disc flat to throw it properly, so fair enough. But that leads us on. And on to hole 6, which is kind of across a bit of a valley. There's a down and an up certainly. I'm using eagle as I am all round, and that wasn't quite what I meant to do, but it worked very well. Beach up next. Yep, nice little slight turnover, just short of the gap. And Matthew going nice flat on his throw, just a bit low. But he's out there in the open. Oh, there was a brief technical discussion saying you probably want to do a bit of a turnover with your putter. So he had a go and that worked pretty well. Peter does a lovely upshot. You can really go for this basket because of the slope behind it. You're never going to go too far beyond. Matthew coming out, and there we all finish up. So I get my 2, Peter on the 3, Matthew on the 4, I think. So on to hole 7, which is going back across the same dip we just came across, but from a lower level and playing onto the hill we threw off before. Lots of little trees in the way here, but again I think I hit the last tree there, but it's close enough for an easy putt. Peter goes for a bit of a turnover, and that's solid upshot as well. And Matthew's going to do similar, I think, but in a more relaxed style. There we go. It's going to be quite nettly up there, but at the moment it's not too bad. I suspect that patch where Matthew's standing will get fairly horrible as the weeks progress. I think Matthew was unlucky there and he hit a branch. Peter gets up and just past the basket. He was going for that one. Yeah, Matthew just got stopped a bit there, but he's in for a 3. I'm going for the 2, yep, and Peter should get his 3, although after he'd done this shot, I did point out to him that leaning on a tree in front of you is not allowed. So he did go on actually and retake that shot without leaning on a tree, and he still made it, so we let him have it. So on to hole 8, which is a tiny hole on the top of the hill. So to reverse perspective here, the basket is kind of behind and slightly to the left of the camera here. Basically you just want to come up here, miss that middle tree and slide up a bit. There's a slope behind the basket, so you don't want to go too far really. So mine was pretty good. Matthew slides his up as well. And Peter's up last. Let's go slightly to the right. But it looked worse than it was when we got up there. He was in not too bad a position. So here we go, we got pin high, just a bit right. So unlucky there, I did hit the camera. So yes, if the camera and the bag hadn't been there, he might have had an easier next putt, but he might not have done. Unfortunately, that was really close. You can see he's a bit miffed about that. But hey, it didn't work the second time either. Let's move to 2 again. And let Matthew finish off. And then we're on to the last hole, hole 9. One of the longer holes on the course just to finish on. So we're on the mound, we're playing out and across to basket out in the open field. This is one of the holes you really need to check there's no walkers around. So in this case I threw first. I was pretty sure there was no one out there where I was going to go. And then I went out to spot for the other two, who were more likely to be a bit tight into the side. But Matty gets that out nicely. As does Peter. So we're just out in the open field now, as you can see. The playground used to be much closer into this, but it's moved now, so it's a nice big open space up there now. And it was a lovely day. I was going for the 2 there, but wasn't quite to be. So I think we'll just finish off. Yep, there we go. So look out for Arrow Valley Disc Golf Club on Facebook. It's a nice little family-friendly, beginner-friendly course, and they've got a load of events coming up over the summer. I will try and do some more filming with TrolleyCam as things open up a bit more, and then I'll post them up on here. But thank you for watching, and bye for now.